My PhD was on women's history, women during the Civil War. In that broad study I did on Anioma between 1996 and 1999, I looked at women's marriage history in the Igbo east of the Niger. I looked at women marrying women. There's this sad age of somebody that is, she had a child under my hands. It's a figurative statement, but actually means that the woman couldn't have a child. Another person had a child for her. It was a form of a system whereby women who were not able to have children of their own could have other women have children in their name, so to say.
I'm Tisla, Obian, Tisla. Tisla, okay, Obian. I'm going to look at Antima, Antum, Oprish. Oprish, Mamma, Amatagan. Of the photo in a jack, I can move near Jusiaka. Oh, my mamma got them also care. I do Gemma bend the veggie, Mamma Bayala Bata. Mo, Kala, the Calaban, Kama Bayala. But not as them come down my gym. Of wine and more kisses. I'm working now. You can work a saddle major on the teeth back or make my jacket. Of
the woman-to-woman marriage is Ware Pakama Sime. That is home development marriage. Ware Pakama Sime is what it's called. So what brings about that marriage is a woman will not want a lineage to pass like that. Okay. She's in a marriage. Maybe she's the first wife. Other wives have come. They brought children into the family, but by misfortune, she did not have a child, a biological child of her own. So it is permitted for the woman to now look for the consent of the husband or her own relation. You must have somebody that will agree to marry whom you are bringing. Don't marry and bring and start looking for.
Women who had only daughters, with the interest we have ascribed to male children, saw a leeway to solve their dilemma through this situation. Not to talk of other things, women that were lonely, getting old, needing support. And I told you a story of a man I knew who I asked him why he married a certain woman at a certain age in his life. He said the original wife had gotten tired of all the challenges of managing the home and managing the man and the marriage, and decided to marry a younger woman, to have a younger woman come into the family, to not be doing those things while she retires.
Oge ya lụrụ nya azị bụ na sofa ahụhụ nwunye awụrụ n'ọrụ ọkanyị bele ọnụ nne m ọnụ ya azị n'osi iwuli ọnụ azị n'ọgba emume iwuli anya gị te izu nkesa ọgbalị n'ọrụ ẹrụ ịka ya ha nnọrọ mụhụ awa zee nọ mụnwụ fale mụ nwere si nkesa ọlụ na nzu nwere aka ha ka mụtara mụ nke n'ọza mata akere to na na buta mato nwa ahụ arụ buta mato taro zụa ọ baga kpọga nse sukulu ọhụ ya la hala magma ọ bụ to kpere na-erukọ anyị manụ hụ nke emezute na evo nke sọ n'oke gburu evo nke kwere ka atụ ga-awọ azụ nụ azụ ada eto n'ọrụ. I was with them when I entered to secondary school. So when I came back from holiday, I met the first wife. Well, it didn't take long again. I left. I said I would not stay again, and I went back. We are like sisters. We are like all the people, all the wives she married. They took my mother as their mother. Yes, just like they took her. That's how we relate with them as sisters. I know me for very kind of say, hello, I see you so long. I don't know si kiki, organ of why. I don't know my father. I could see the parameter. I know when I was growing up with her, being that she don't have a child, she always, she's not happy at such. But since these children started coming, she's now happy because she has seen people that are calling her mother, mother, mother. So she was happy. But from time to time, what she do is that she will carry, if it's the first one now, that will go and spend 1 month there. After that one will come back, then the other one will go just like that. None of them have stayed up to 1 year without reaching home because they normally do their farm here. Sometimes they will go together, sometimes they will go one after the other. A lot of quarrels, mates, rivalries is always there. No matter how, she just have that mind to bring them together because from time to time quarrel, and especially when she married the second one, the first one now was like, why did they, fight every time? But she know how, God gave her wisdom to handle it very well. If no, it's not proper. If I must advise somebody to do it, you should just marry one, not two.
I read the biography of a lady, Omo of Osamari, and Omo was a very wealthy woman, like most female chiefs west of the Niger. She had so many female wives whom she used for her trade. They featured in her trading activities, and they did other things. It was part of also building her empire, having the clout of being a female husband, being a head of household, and so on and so forth, having all the trappings of a male, but not being physically male. Omo was a lady that lived in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Situation then was different. When I came to the eastern Igbo area, I could tell different categories of this relationship. Those that were contemporaries of Omo, of Osamari, did basically the way she did. They were renowned traders, female traders. They were women that wanted to get into the male structure, both in terms of politics, local governance, and every other thing. These women, in the process of building themselves and building their households, acquired female wives. The female wives had a multiplicity of purposes depending on what they needed them for. Some had these women to support them in their businesses. Some married women to have children. Some married women just to have other women under them, to actualize their ascribed male status. That was in that generation. Fathers who loved their daughters so much, they didn't want to part with their daughters. They rather prefer to retain their daughters in the house. So the father will now either do a kind of present a goat or whatever to the extended family and to say, I'm retaining my daughter in the house. That daughter will have ascribed male status. That daughter in the house can marry women to have children for her. That daughter can also be in the house having children that will bear the father's name.
Initially, I've had a son biologically, but with the demands in our Calabari setting, it's like I was still empty, I was not complete. I wanted to enlarge my family, my own family, as well as my husband's family, where I'm married to. So I now ask myself, how can I survive with only one child, one son? So that now forced me to look for a girl to marry, to increase my numerical strength in my husband's house.
Mostly, it is done outside the Calabari gland. It's not within the Calabari gland. So, they will now go to the neighboring places.
I called the agent and told her I wanted to bet I can't go to Igbo land if she can assist me. So she brought 2 girls, no, 3 of them. I chose this very one. Initially, I did not choose her. I said I didn't like any of them. But she insisted she wants to be in this family. I said no. Then my husband was alive. They came back later in the night when we had all gone to bed. The agent said, this girl said she wants to be with you. Wherever I took her to, she said this, here she wants to be. It was then my husband said, don't mind her face. Initially, she was not beautiful. He said, don't mind her face. Let's try her. If her character is good, you can take her. You need help. So based on this advice, I received her.
So, they will now go to the neighboring places. Will now go formally marry that wife. For the husband, for the brother, whoever she have the trust to take that woman as a wife.
My name, Choma Erekosima. I did my place. I should tell someone to look for somebody where she go marry, give her husband. So they find me and come to me. Tell me she want to marry woman to her husband, that's okay. No wahala. I agree with them. And then come our place, take lists and do things, and then they marry woman for Imo State. So, and then do everything and marry me come to the family. When I come to the family, I be feel somehow because where I'm going, I don't hear their language. And after sometimes, gradually, I begin to hear their dialects.
In practice, she goes to meet the family of the person she intends to marry with a clear story of why she has come. And at times, they insist that she comes with the man that would actually make babies with their daughter.
You have to get somebody who will introduce you to the family. It's like an agent. There are agents. If you're interested, those people can bring house help. They want, sometimes through the house help, you can, if the girl behaves well, you can decide to marry.
They will marry, pay Abdari complete, and bring that lady home. Automatically, when she comes and she's married to the husband or to any relation, that person has every Calabari right that any other person, any Calabari citizen has.
So it follows the normal processes of marrying a woman. The bride price is paid and the young married girl returns. The female husband will choose a man to do the honors. These things are done traditionally. It's a system of marriage traditionally accepted, recognized, even respected.
It is part of us, so it's still practiced today. This minute, mind me, as we are talking, somebody is doing it.
But there are usually issues as to sometimes maybe the woman brings a child in, brings somebody in, they're making babies, but she's not so buoyant to take care of the products of. But maybe the child is a product of one of her brothers. That man too has his own children to take care of. So his own wife is wondering, are you dividing your limited resources between your sister's children and your own children?
Human nature. There might be some persons who are very hostile, who do not want any kind of friendliness, antagonizing everybody. But that will not make anybody to say, get out.
Sometimes the women just take off. The women take off sometimes they elope with men, and those issues at times bring some friction, and the family usually, steps in and resolve those issues.
If peradventure she now comes, now see the man as too old for her, maybe a young girl coming to marry a man of 60, 70, along the line, after one or two baths, youthful exuberance might come in, and she might like somebody to have an issue with. That child belongs to that woman, not to the man.
The Nigerian system has a lot of lapses. I mean, people like Priscilla should be taken care of, if not by their families, but by the state. When I saw her, I think 3 months ago, begging, I wasn't impressed, and I asked her why. Because I know that before the female husband passed on, she managed to build a house. So I said, but what are you doing on the streets? She told me how abused she feels, how it's like she has wasted her life, how she has suffered in this life. It's a life of servitude. And why will we subject our fellow women to this? Today we're talking about equality. We're trying to wrest some powers from our male members of the society. Now, why are we creating inequalities? That is the way I look at it.
Agwakparo ulili kwazi yani onwuneke nafin henyi oku onwuneke go nafin henyi oku ngbe yani boto bekore nafin henyi anku ya bi ikoli de ngbe yani ilahala hosu ilahala musiko loku se ukona ikoli no henyi anku ami musiko pa loku munga mvenu ni ngeli nyanzi apon kusinvu kwa nkusi nbe na vuli nyanzi nkusinvu kwa no never nwo. But there's a good your camen or then no could be never young. We could never one.
Capamba born in the time. Maybe have no one on the other. Ever. Oh, Gambo Bonzi. Yanon, the Abo of all. Ecuador woman or Managoman, Goboman or Bomado. I would take my cup of man, more as a none one on that. But that's a common because no like I would have got on. I am marrying my second term because no, I'm way okay. Inside as if Banjay Marato, as a Korean, no Panda Korean, and as a Korean. So, I want to be Jan. Probably just a book. Nes, I may have your son. Make a good job at Sabayami. Then I'm actually a remark I think.
The one you do for many licking now wooling, and the one you do back. Kaka knew buzo. Again, or Lewello, and woolly. No, ever a good or never son of Rave, a good alleging. Oyana guzo ma beto bele gigun ya we wuli oba dan ebo ma po kan oko e yo wuli leni yan foro noko leni yan wuli sibi ka be wuli le
those marriages, at least they are about 99% successful for the purpose they are brought. Because you are brought to come and salvage somebody, you know, and the gods of the land always answer that person that has done that. It's a very good tradition of ours that has brought equality to whoever that has been brought into our nation. And that has really populated the Kalabari kingdom.
I and my sisters were against it because I see it as a semi-prostitution. It's not really a good culture because the husband you are trying to bring the girl for is no longer alive. My dad is late. So basically you are telling the girl to go and sleep with any man available within that kindred, my kindred too, so you can have a male child. And it's not really a good thing from my own perspective, but later the girl left. I don't know why she left. She just woke up one morning and she packed her bags and left.
To me, I will not advise it. Yes, I will not advise people to do it.
I'm not discouraging people from adopting children, but in this very one, you have known the family. You have known the family traits. You know where you are coming from. So it's better.
We accept that Wari Pakama marriage more than adoption. Adoption, you go, you fill paper, do this or no. You've not what? Paid the dowry. You must perform all the marriage rites on that person. When you do adoption, acceptability is not like the other one. That one is alien to us, so we don't accept it that much.
As Christianity was taking root in our societies, it was impacting on this very relationship. It was impacting on some of our cultures. And it did impact on this very culture. I know that the Catholic Church did not take so kindly to this. And other Christian groups did not take so kindly to this. So what did this lead to? It didn't stop women from marrying women because it solved a lot of social problems. But with Christianity, I discovered that this system of marriage went underground, gradually began to go underground.
We are having more people, men, women, embrace Christianity. And before now, it was such that you embrace Christianity, but you still have the culture, trailing. But for urbanization and, modernity, most people just move away from the culture. So they can't even speak their languages, not to talk of understanding the culture. Development is actually threatening some of those things without our knowing, perhaps.
The women in the relationship are not too willing to say, I am in this kind of a relationship. They may tell you if you are discussing privately, but when another person is there, they will not tell you any longer. They will change the story.
We are deceiving ourselves in rejecting our own culture. White man has his own culture. Bringing Christianity to us is his own culture. One good thing Christianity has done to us, it has given us education. Our culture should not be an alien thing to us.
Because when you tell people our constitution recognizes polygamy, they struggle with that statement. But to the extent that our constitution recognizes traditional marriages, it recognizes and accepts polygamy. So if it accepts polygamy, polygamous societies and polygamous arrangements actually permit a lot of these kind of things. So what is required here is not even legislation, because it already exists. There are traditional practices known. Some of them have been adjudicated and established.
I personally don't see its place in our modern world. If in the past it solved problems, We have outgrown that stage. Much of what the young women are doing for their female husbands, social workers can do the same. The state should have in place systems to cater for the old, the elderly women. They don't need to mortgage the destinies of younger women.
There are quite a lot of women I know that today they don't know where to go because the adoption process is so tedious these days. You go there, it has to start with fostering. So how do you get the child to foster?
The Nigerian Constitution will operate as not set aside our tradition.
So if it's to encourage, I would encourage it, and to the extent that even legal backing can be provided in terms of going through the adoption process in court, I would support it.
Opokrika omungi ase. Opogolo omungi ase. Angala duba duba tubukana. Ije duba duba. Arukra. That is my drum name. 150 years old drum name. So if you're not from a family, you don't bear it. We'll be working with other, but the moment this drum is sound, I'm the one they're calling. So we have a very unique culture. Tomorrow is going to cost us so much to bring it back.